Hey, and we're back. Remember this project? There was a stump right here. It was about exactly this size. It came up exactly, this tall from the soil to the top of the crown. Why did we do a stump removal? Because that brings us to today. We're going to do a lawn level, lawn renovation, lawn tear out, lawn install, lawn care. And where's our project boundaries? Well, the customer conveniently killed off everything, glyphosated the entire project boundaries. Remember the big old, I don't know, octopus? I don't know what you want to call it. It was technically about yay big, and it had these kind of roots going on. That's a whole area. That's what a little bit of a bucket grading and just rain will do. So without further ado, we're going to jump in. We're going to start blowing up this entire backyard. It's probably going to be 2 days. I had some other stuff going on, and we're getting to it a little bit later. So a couple hours into it, yeah, time to hit it.
I'll show you all the problems on one job, and I'll talk through how I go about solving those problems, and maybe that'll help you for your jobs in your future.
Okay, so far, I just want to start hitting the perimeter. Obviously, we're going to do, crisscrossing paths, north, south, east, and west type deal. But I just want to get a rough outline of the work site. That's kind of what you're seeing me do right now, is define project boundaries. Here we go. Okay, I wanted to take a pause right there. So this is somewhere around where the stump was. I don't know, give or take a few feet, doesn't matter. The reason I wanted to pause here is we're getting a lot of debris. Here's a rock, roots, woody material, all sorts of stuff. We have that going on. We also have, here, walk with me over here. We got a pile of rocks. So this is, typical, rock edging. It's about knee high by, 2-3 feet. Reason I want to point that out is what we're going to do is probably come over somewhere, in a general area, somewhere over here. What we're going to do is we're going to make a hole, fill the hole in. Secret contractor tip. Take all your clutter, bury it. Here we go. All right, before we lose too much more daylight, see what we did here? We separated the colors. Why do you want to separate the colors? Because you have rich organic mixed with non-organic stuff, and you might have a similar situation. So here's what we do in the upper Midwest when we have, thick layers of black dirt over silty, sandy, clay materials. I started my borrow pit right here and pushed all the topsoil over onto the other side. Okay, so we just bulldozed it from here, pushed it over here. Then from this angle, right, went down into the grade, into the non-organic material, because I saw the color change. So I followed the contour of the topsoil, pushed all my topsoil over here, pushed all the non-organic stuff on the other side where the topsoil was pushed from. So all the non-organic is still on where we stripped the topsoil. Now I'm going to take the icky stuff, bury it down deep, backfill it first with the subsoil, pack that back down, and then we'll top dress it with the spoil pile of black dirt where we stripped off the black dirt.
And here I just start digging out the rocks that were, just kind of left over. And I use kind of the same method where we dig a borrow pit and make a spoil pile. It's just the spoils that we're taking out of the pit, we're just going to bury them in the hole.
Yeah, back at it the next day. Ran into a stump. We'll take a look at it a little bit closer, and there's char marks. So someone tried to burn it. Didn't find it until we started tilling. Then the tiller went bam, 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 and started chattering on it. Poked around a little bit. That's most of the roots. I think we're just gonna have to get the stump grinder and come back and get it. Among other things, hit a dog fence, so had to had to break out the emergency dog fence repair kit that stays in the truck. It happens a lot, and there's just not much you can do about it. But a field repair. In the dog fence companies, they just go right over the top of roots, so it wasn't buried, but a quarter inch. And as soon as I tugged up on the root coming over here, I mean, it's a big one. It just snapped. No biggie. Crimp solder seal. But now, so right here, see the discoloration? Yeah, someone ground or burnt that. So we'll have to come back with the stump grinder. I already got her down pretty deep and a little defeated. There wasn't a stump here when we got the other tree. It was 10 feet the other way. When I went and dug the pit to bury a little bit of rock, not much rock, hit more stumps. So I just tried to clean up a little bit of that. And we have almost a dump truck load of more roots. Okay, well, great. This is the next job for the day. These ones have, this big crown coming up here, the roots. They want this flat. Well, that's a job. It can be done. What an absolute colossal storm of a mess, huh? Yeah, that it is. When those big stumps come up and live up here and you want a flat lawn, you have to excavate the whole thing. It's easier for me to pull roots in whole than it is wood chips. You just get more of it. Yeah, hopefully you stick around for the rest of this video. Big project. It's gonna look beautiful when we're done. So, stump grinding, stump removal. Whole lot of difference, huh? This is all the extra roots that we took out. Bucket grading isn't where we end. We're only getting started. So, yeah, quick little bucket grade just to make it look all right for tonight. We're gonna come through and blow it all up, but we got some other stumps that we need to do first, and then we'll move to phase 2, and that'll be grading and lawn. So lots to do. Hope you stick around. Hope you enjoy watching what these little tractors can do. They're pretty impressive. I think they get a bad rap. They're tippy, they're too light duty, they're too this, that, another thing. You can't do this, that, another thing. it goes toe to toe with the Bobcat. You guys have seen that. So yeah, little things are pretty handy. Well, good morning, back out here again. Did some more tilling on it off camera. I don't know if we really need to show too much tilling. The time I came over this spot, it was just bam, bam, bam. Well, I took the loader bucket and made, you know, one scoop over here, one scoop over here, then came at it the center, and well, certainly that's a laundry post. Now, it probably would have been fine to leave it. There again, do you need to remove it? Maybe, maybe not. But if I know that we have an issue, I address it. So if I know about something, I'm gonna take care of it. Much like earlier, you saw a hidden stump over there that weren't supposed to do any stump removals, but certainly we did another stump removal. So I'm gonna hook a chain around this, drag it off site, get rid of it. You know, what would happen if you left that? Maybe nothing, maybe something. Maybe this area would dry out more. Maybe it would, you know, who knows? But if you were the homeowner and you knew a contractor knew there was a hidden problem, wouldn't you want the contractor to also rip it out? There could be a whole host of things, and you and I know we battle those in our own yard. It's like, why does this one area dry out? Well, this could be, you know, a heat soak. Just heat up the dirt, evaporate the water, and you would always have this dry patch right here. And it could be a million different things, right? This is just one of 50 million examples of when you take your equipment off your property to go work on someone else's property, unforeseen conditions, hidden conditions. And if you're going to provide value to the customer, if you know there's a problem, take care of it. Now we're going to remove an old laundry pole that was cemented in, plus a whole lot of more work. We got a lot going on. Time to dive in. Hook up a chain. There we go. That'll work. Instead of picking it up, see what's going to happen here. We'll go dispose of this thing, I guess.
Okay, hopefully all the tree stump grinding is done and we can get back to rototilling and actually installing a lawn here.
Well, I think I need my dust mask. We're making a mess. Okay, short, quick recap. We tilled all this area. We tilled I don't know if you remember, I definitely remember. We did a pine tree stump removal on the other side of the client's property there. Tilled all that up, you know, back, forth, zigzag, you know, all that kind of stuff. We got it into a pretty good area that I like to start working with. How I do it is after I fluff everything up, I want to lightly kind of press it back in to see where my contours are, see where my grade's going. That's what we use the Cultipacker for. Let's get to work. Okay, so here's why I like to roll it at least once after I till it a good, 4 inches. Just driving the tractor over here, the tractor rut is bigger than my hand. Walking on it, well, it goes over the top of my boot. It's very hard for me to see where the contours are and where we need to add or shave or move or beat the dirt up anymore. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna quick roll this area, then we're gonna start our grading. We don't wanna compact it. We're not going for compaction to build a house or a road on it. We're just gonna settle it down. We're just gonna squeeze a little air out. Then we'll really start having fun. Let's do it. Here we go. And yes, my bucket is way too high. I got a fence that I'm running up to. And a root. I mean, this area has been nothing but roots upon roots. It's a lot. Okay, we made it. Just settling the area down a little bit. When I get to the areas that I haven't drove over or anything, the dirt starts boiling up on the wheels, the notched drums. Those are 16-inch discs. We'll put you on a time lapse. Okay, so now that we gave it one roll, just one roll with a Cultipacker, I think it may sound weird, but that's kind of how I get projects to start talking to me, to tell me what it needs. We need to slope away from the house. We also have existing fences and stuff like that we can't change the elevation for. So when I look at it, it starts talking to me, and I think we need a gradual swale right in the middle, and everything flows that direction. So it's going to be a big V, a big funnel that way. Slow, gradual percolation through the soil. Hopefully not get pooling water, standing water. If it needs to shed, the water will shed, that direction. Big goal is nice, slow, nice, even groundwater to be soaked in to the ground, not, a gully washer. Now all that's left is start grading, and if you notice, we got a couple big piles of dirt. We're gonna top dress it all with clean topsoil. So we tilled it, we rolled it, we settled it down. Now it's time to start grading, and then we're gonna top dress it with clean fill. Here we go. Low range, 4-wheel drive. Set what we got going on. Let's give that a shot.
A lot of the tuning or the pitching of the scraper blade to rear rake is just done by trial and error. Get out there, just start pulling it, and if you need to tweak it, adjust it right on the fly. There's nothing wrong that will happen. Rather, you might, beat up the dirt a little bit, but that's all right. Keep rolling it or pitching it, and you'll get it, and it'll start behaving just the way you want it to.
So back on the project after, a sizable rain, we can see some pooling here. And if we try to see where everything was running, so we have some running here. This is all wet through here. So this is saying, we had some pooling, which is good because it's still mounded up where the dirt is. But we have the runoff, the water runoff coming almost perfectly. Definitely see traces of silt and washout coming through here. That's exactly what we wanted to happen with putting in our little no-see swale. So if we remember, the swale came right up through here and over to here. And you see how all the silt and fines are coming through? So, yep, we got here a little bit late, and we got a little bit of, ground vegetation coming in. But it's actually pretty good for us to make sure that we're heading in the right area. So we do have fall, we do have slope away from the house. Although not ideal to have waited this long, this is a good indication of, surface water shedding away from the house. We got the results that we were trying to get to. First, we're just gonna pull everything that got washed out, pull that back. We're gonna follow our swale as we do it. Starting at the bottom, you always want to start at your lowest point, bring it to your highest point. And don't try to take big bites, little bites. Now we're using the TR3 rake as a box blade, so to speak. So I have the rear rake lifted up. It still rides on these bogey wheels, but the floating blade has just about all the weight of the whole attachment sitting on. If you have a hydraulic top link, you just roll the whole attachment forward and it's going to put more weight on the scrape and pull. And that's how we're using the tool today. The true goal here is to make a swale, but not even notice it. So it's almost a flat, in plane yard. Just has a very, very gentle grade to it. So after we get done grading out the subgrade and pulling back, all the washed out material, then we're gonna use the combs to kind of feather everything in. Hardly you'll ever even notice it. I'm glad we got a little bit of rain so you can see it actually working. You can do you can shoot it with lasers, you can do everything. I'm telling you, the buck stops when Mother Nature shows you exactly what's going on. So here we go. So this is, I don't know, what do we do? 4 or 5? I'll put a number on the bottom count. Passes with the floating box blade that we just had the weight of the attachment sitting on. We didn't lock out the blade. We did not want to go aggressive. Don't need to go aggressive. We showed you before everything that our swale was doing exactly what we wanted to. Yeah, we have some pooling here, and pooling right where we started, where we literally have a dump truck load of black dirt. Well, of course it's gonna dam up there. We're gonna take care of that. We're gonna take care of this. This is everything that we took out, and we got, a good yard of material. That has to get brought up over in this area and get feathered in a whole lot better than what we left it last time, and that's all right. And everything else just needs to get lightly tilled, and we'll do that with the TR3 Command, the hydraulic scarifiers. We're going to dig those things in. Those are not going to pull material. It's going to till. The back comb is going to redress everything. So we're going to lift up the floating box blade, we're going to rotate the whole attachment back, we're going to lower the hydraulic scar fires in there just to break up the ground, and then the comb is going to smooth everything in. I think it's 7.5 feet wide, so it's going to be really gentle rolling contours. Good soil, good drainage. We just need a little bit of help of grading. Fine, fine, just mighty fine. That's wet soil. So okay, what are we thinking? We got a nice swale coming in here. We started doing some final finished dressing up to the house, up to the pavers. Started dumping some topsoil. Started doing some quick grading. It's very wet, not the end of the world, but I think we're going to take lunch. Gonna let some of this dry out and probably come back and touch up some of the areas. In a few short minutes, I don't know, hour and a half, we've really started making some headway on it. And let's go get lunch and wrap it up in a little bit.